All right, let's look at determining the difference quotient of this function f of x. So if you want to, you can break this down into three parts, three steps. You don't have to, but I am going to show you how to do this first one anyway in three steps. So step one, we want to determine f of a plus h. Like we discussed back in the beginning of chapter 2, this component is going to be part of the difference quotient. So what is f of a plus h? Well, it's just wherever you see an x, you're going to replace it with a plus h. So there you go. We have replaced every x with the quantity of a plus h. Now all we have to do is simplify this. So what do we get? Squaring this binomial gives us this trinomial. This quantity, a plus h squared, will always be equal to a squared plus 2ah plus h squared. Then I'm going to be distributing the negative 2 through this quantity, so you get this. And then lastly here, let's go ahead and distribute the 3 through. And so this is step 1 of 3. We just determined the value of f of a plus h. The next thing we want to do here, if we're doing this three-step process to determine our difference quotient, is to now find what this would be equal to. F of a plus h minus f of a. Okay, so, well, we already have this, so just basically copy and paste what you just had. So 3a squared plus 6ah plus 3h squared minus 2a minus 2h, and then minus the quantity of whatever this is going to be equal to. So minus f of a. So everywhere you see an x, the original function, you replace the x's with a's. And it looks like that. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to add the opposite, right? Because this is an inverse of this difference. You're subtracting this quantity from this expression. So let's go ahead and distribute, in other words, distribute this negative through these two terms. So add the opposite. And you get this. So now what? You get a minus 3a squared plus 2a. At this point, if there's anything that can be eliminated, you want to eliminate them. All right? So 3a's are gone, and then the 2a's are also gone. Notice that the two terms that made up f of a are gone. Okay? They are eliminated. All right, sorry about that. The last thing I'm going to get here then would be what? All right, so this is what you end up with for the difference between f of a plus h and f of a. Notice that in every remaining term, you have at least an h, okay? All right, the third step would be to put it all together. So we have f of a plus h minus f of a all over h. So now, again, we can copy and paste this. 6ah plus 3, that's supposed to be a 3, h squared minus 2h all over h, okay? And then, remember, like I just said, you're going to have an h in every one of these terms, okay, from step 2. All right, so what does that mean? Because you're dividing by h, you can factor out an h on top. And the h's are going to cancel. This is something else that's always going to happen, just like every term here that makes up f of a will always be eliminated, okay? It's something else that will always happen. So therefore, the difference quotient is equal to 6a plus 3h minus 2. And really we should say where h is not equal to 0, but this is the gist of it, okay? This is what you really need to know right here, okay, for our intents and purposes, all right?